Respect the values of life, treat others in the way you wish to be treated. The true wealth, how you treat people. In a quaint, picturesque town, there lived a successful but arrogant businessman named Alexander. He owned a large company and resided in a magnificent mansion, yet a cloud of dissatisfaction always hung over him. He was perpetually chasing more money, more prestige, and constantly compared himself to others, always feeling he came up short. Alexander was often sharp-tongued and condescending towards his employees, convinced that their lack of success was a direct result of their own laziness and incompetence. One morning, Alexander woke to find a strange and delicate garden had appeared overnight on his pristine lawn. It was no ordinary garden. Instead of flowers, it grew shimmering, crystalline hearts. Each heart represented a relationship in his life, one for his family, another for his friends, and others for his colleagues. To his dismay, most were withered, pale, and covered in a spiderweb of cracks. Confused, Alexander noticed an old, gentle gardener, Mr. Caldwell, tenderly tending to the fragile blooms. "What is this? Who are you?" Alexander demanded impatiently. Mr. Caldwell offered a soft smile. "This is the Garden of Hearts, Alexander. It reflects how you treat others. The way you nurture your relationships is precisely how this garden grows." Alexander scoffed. "Nonsense. I don't have time for such silly things." But as days passed, he found he couldn't ignore the garden. Every time he harshly scolded an employee, a corresponding crystal heart would splinter with another sharp crack. Each time he canceled a dinner with his elderly parents for a business deal, another heart would wilt and fade, its light dimming. The garden became a haunting, bleak landscape. One pivotal day, the heart representing his relationship with his head secretary, Sarah, a hardworking and dedicated single mother, nearly shattered into pieces after he unfairly fired her for a minor mistake. Staring at the broken fragments, Alexander felt a strange, painful pang in his own chest. For the first time, he truly wondered how Sarah must have felt, and how she would now support her young child. Driven by this newfound empathy, he sought Sarah out, offered a sincere apology, and not only gave her job back but also a promotion. The moment he did, the heart representing Sarah in the garden didn't just repair itself, it began to glow with a soft, warm, pink light. From that day forward, Alexander began to change. He started listening to his employees, offering encouragement instead of criticism. He spent his weekends visiting his parents, truly listening to their stories. He learned to appreciate life's simple joys, the warmth of a morning coffee, the innocent smile of a child, the peaceful silence of a sunset. He no longer measured his life in money and contracts, but by the happiness he could cultivate in himself and others. Miraculously, the Garden of Hearts flourished in response. The crystal hearts bloomed vibrantly in brilliant colors, emitting a warm, radiant light that outshone any of his material possessions. Alexander finally understood that he was the richest man in town, not because of his bank account, but because of the priceless garden he had learned to nurture. The story of Alexander and the Garden of Hearts teaches us a profound lesson about treasuring the true values of life. Real happiness and wealth do not come from material possessions, status, or power, but from genuine relationships and how we treat those around us. Treat others the way you want to be treated is not just a beautiful saying, but a fundamental law of life. Every kind word, every caring action, every bit of empathy and forgiveness is a good seed sown into the garden of our own relationships. Conversely, indifference, harsh words, and selfish actions will cause that garden to wither. When we learn to cherish and nurture our bonds with family, friends, and colleagues, we are the first to reap the sweet fruits of peace and happiness. Let us slow down, love more, and realize that the most precious things are often right beside us. Thank you for listening to my story about the meaning of life. Please like and subscribe.